With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Hi, I'm Daniel Likis, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He's the author of several books, and of course, we will talk about his latest book, and then there was us, no other than Mr. Kern Carter.
Hello.
Welcome, Mr. Kern on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself without I miss?
Yeah, so I'm a longtime author. I've been writing books since I was 8 years old. So what I'm really kind of excited about and happy and proud of myself for is being able to kind of hold on to that boyhood dream that I had, and just stuck with it, and now I'm able to do this for a living. So it's been a very long journey. It's been a beautiful journey, but I love writing. I love books. I've loved it since I was a child, and I really do appreciate the position that I'm in right now. So
And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Kern. Hoping for more and more empowering books like this to come. So, tell us, Mr. Kern, the title "And Then There Was Us" implies a pivotal before and after moment. What was the before and what was the us that the
okay,
story builds toward?
that's perceptive. So the before is this teenage girl who has struggled with the relationship she had with her mother. Her mother's abusive, or was abusive, and before her mother passed away, she was living a life with her father that felt very comfortable and away from the abuse, and they had a great relationship. But then her mother passes away, and all those feelings of inadequacy and feelings of frustration and anger, especially anger, just pop back up again. So after the mom passes away, and Koi is the character's name, after she begins to have these dreams about her mother, the after is how does she get to forgiveness? How does Koi find a way to forgive her mother? Even though she's passed away, how does she find a way to forgive her mother and move on with her life? That's kind of the before and after. But yeah, that's the first time I've been asked that question.
Interesting, Mr. Kern. What is the central theme of this book? Is it more about finding family, rebuilding after loss, or unexpected ways connection can transform a life?
Yeah, forgiveness. This book really is about anger and forgiveness. Koi is angry throughout the entire novel. She's just angry,
Mm-hmm.
and you just never know if, first of all, if she will forgive her, but more importantly, should she even forgive her mother? Does she have to? Like her mother, if you read the novel, as you read through the novel, you'll see her mother does some fairly heinous things to her. So does she even need to forgive her? So for me, the central theme of this book is definitely forgiveness, and then I mean, on the backbone of forgiveness is love. So there's also an aspect of love that's also entrenched in this book, and kind of generational love and what that looks like, um, as in different families throughout different generations.
Interesting, Mr. Kern. And I want to read your book. Is it available on Audible?
Yes. This one is available
Awesome.
on Audible. Yes.
Awesome. So, how does your book explore the idea that us can be a chosen family, not just a biological one?
Yeah. So that's an interesting question, because the blood family for Koi, the main character, is a little skeptical for her. And the person who she actually feels one of the people she feels most comfortable with is her mother's boyfriend who is outside of her blood family, but who's offered her some solace, so even if it's a little bit, and a little bit of understanding. And she's also comfortable with her aunt. That's what she's most comfortable with. She's comfortable with her aunt, who for her is like the mother figure that she always wanted, but also like the sister figure that she has, but that she also feels like that's that sense of closeness. So for I think Koi has regret about,
Mm-hmm.
who her family was, who her family turned out to be, but at the same time she was able to find um, people within her family, individuals within that family, her father, one being her own father, that really kind of helped her cope and get through.
Interesting, Mr. Kern. What does the word us represent in the context of your story? Is it partnership, a family unit, or a broader community?
What does the word what, sorry?
Us. What the word
Us.
us for us?
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay, so you know, Koi Koi struggles with the concept of family throughout the whole entire novel, and at one point she even tells her father, like, I don't even think I have a family. I never had a family. Like that's how
Mm-hmm.
she sees it through her lens. Um, the word us is actually directly connected to Koi's mother. So Koi, mother has this poem that she says and that she recited to Koi, and what she would say is, like when Koi's little sister was born, Koi thought that her mom would, ignore her and give the little sister all the affection. So her mom would say this poem to her, and she'd say, um, first there was me, then there was you, um,
Mm-hmm.
then there was your little sister, and then there was us, you know? So she was saying, like, no matter what, we're all together. Like, we're all a family. There's nothing that you have to worry about. But it was, those are forgotten moments for Koi. But that's what the us stands for. The us actually is in direct reference to that statement. And then the other part is, the us is meant to symbolize uh, 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 the exploration of really what a family is. Because when Koi says, and then there was us, like, who is she referring to, right? Koi wouldn't have the same perspective as her mother did when her mother sang those poems, because Koi felt like those words were empty, even though her mom, like, that's for her, it's a positive memory. Koi would say us is her and her father, like that's
Mm-hmm.
the us that she knows, because that's us that she grew up with, in from a positive perspective, right? Everything before that was negative for her, and sad and painful. So the us for Koi would just be those two. And as Koi moves throughout the novel and matures, and she starts understanding things a little bit more, or I should say understanding complex situations a little bit more adeptly, what she realizes is that, us could actually be a little bit more broad, and now us means her younger sister, and us means her mother's boyfriend, and maybe one day us will mean her grandmother, who she has a horrible.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Connection with. So I think that us is meant to be a symbolic kind of gesture to say, like, who does us represent when you're talking about family, and the people who you would assume have the strongest connection to you have the strongest connection to, i.e. your mother, is the one who actually caused you the most pain, um, and the one you're trying to get away from. So
Mr. Kern, on the characters and their journey, can you introduce us the center character or characters at the beginning of the story? What is the void or the longing they are crying?
So Koi and her father are the main character. Koi, her father, and her mother are the main characters. Um, Koi is living with her father when the story begins. The mother is still alive at the very beginning of the story. She gets into a car accident and is hospitalized right away. Um, and then you meet Lady, who is not a main character, but she's an influential character. Lady is Koi's grandmother on her mother's side. So again, for Koi, the main thing that she's trying to overcome is her anger. She's extremely angry at her mom. And again, once you read the novel, you understand why. But Koi can't let it go. There's like she cannot let it go, and she refuses to let it go. And she'll when someone tells her to let it go, she's like, "Yeah, but you didn't endure it. You weren't there for it. You didn't help me." Like she tells Dave, the mom's boyfriend, like you didn't even help me when she was doing all these things. How can you tell me to move on, right? So, for me, like this anger and which is how I write my novels. Like I start with the emotion that the main character is going to go through, and once I know the emotion that the character is fighting the entire novel, then I know exactly how to write the book, because I know I have those emotions. I'm human. I've experienced a lot of the things I write about, even though these are fictional characters and fictional stories. So um yeah,
Mhm.
it's yeah.
Awesome. So, Mr. Kern, without giving any away or giving away spoilers, what
hmm
is the catalytic event that forces your characters to move from me or them toward becoming us?
hmm. I would say it is the mother's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And mm, this is not a big spoiler, but Koi doesn't go to the mom's funeral,
Okay.
right? Like she doesn't. And when she makes that decision, that propels her to make every other decision after that, because right after that she decides to move out on her own. Right after that she decides to go reconnect with her sister, etc., etc., etc. But once she decided that, you guys think even the death of my mother is going to force me to forgive her now? You're wrong. Watch. And she does not go to the funeral. That that set everything in motion for her. Um, from the perspective of her actually like getting to forgiveness. But at the moment, Koi wouldn't have known that. At the moment, Koi felt like she was standing on business. Like, like she was like very firm in her belief of what she was doing, and very intentional with what she was doing. So that was definitely the catalyst in the moment where she started taking her life into her own hands a little bit more.
Mr. Kern, let's talk about connection and your writing process. What was the personal inspiration of the seed for the story? Was it based on an observation or a personal experience, or what? It a question.
Definitely personal experience. This novel, um, is partially based on an experience with my daughter and me and her mother. So I was actually drawing from real life for the at least the emotional familiarity of the situations and some of the actual actions as well. So it was, like a lot of it obviously was made up. Um, the
Mm-hmm.
mother's not dead, stuff like that. Like obviously
Mm-hmm.
this book is part magical realism, so that there's that aspect as well. But for me, I feel like even if I'm not drawing exactly from real life, I'm drawing from real life emotions, or a real life, um, like a conversation that somebody had that I picked up on, and that takes me down into a direction, and I write a book out of that. Like books come from all different places for me. You know what I mean? Like this one came from real life. The one before this was Boys and Girls Screaming. That came from a story one of my friends told me, and I was like so fascinated that I just like wanted to like the story came out of me in this way, and I just want to explore it and explore it and explore it. So every book is different. This one just happened to be very, very much connected to real life though. So I was able to really kind of draw on my daughter's experiences and my experiences to tell the story.
To tell the story, indeed. And thank you so much, Mr. Kern, to share to us, for sharing to the world. And how did writing this story change your own understanding of relationships, connection, or resilience?
Yes, good question. You know, I think true forgiveness is really hard, and I think writing this book helped me understand why my daughter made certain decisions. like the way that she moved, the way that she functioned and functions. Writing this book gave me a little bit more insight into the why of that. So from that perspective, it brought us closer, and we were already fairly close. But it also just like it made me able to step back from the situation and step back away from the parental view of it, and just look at her as this person who has experienced something that was a lot to deal with for someone so young, and then still come out of it is takes a lot. Takes a lot of courage and takes a lot of other things. So yeah, I think that more than anything, just like analyzing my daughter and our relationship was what came out of writing this story.
If you could give your main character one piece of advice and start the journey, what would it be?
Um, Let go. Like Corey really holds on to anger a lot. So I would say just let go, because that anger is toxic and it hurts you. So let go. That'll be the advice.
Mm-hmm. Let it go, let it go. People, let it go. So, as an author, what are your short term and long term goals, Mr. Kern?
Me, my goals is to be the best. That's it. I want to be the best
Yes.
author in the world. Like that
Mm-hmm.
is that is that is absolutely the end goal. I love what I do. I told you I want to write since I was 8, so I knew where I am now is something I knew would happen. So for me, my goal wasn't just to be an author. My goal at 8 years old was to be the best author. So that's what I want to be. And I know, like, there's no, like, logically speaking, I know there's no such thing as like the best author in the world. But for me, the the thought of that, the concept of that is motivating for me, just to be my best, and for me to keep showing up in the way that I show up, and for me to keep challenging myself, and for me to keep producing novels and books that are better and better and better, and um, more closely connecting to the realities and the imagination of humans. Like that for me is my goal. So for me, when I say I want to be the best, that's what I mean. I feel like I want to be the best. I want people to really connect with my stories in ways that they don't connect with other stories, or in ways that is rare in en masse.
Mm-hmm. Well, good luck to your goals, Mr. Ken. And looking forward for more success and more
Mhm.
novels, more books to come, and I hope you will be award-winning and best-selling author soon. I do feature every month either award-winning or best-selling author. I hope you will be my feature author of the
Yes.
month sooner or later. Okay, so thank you for that. And what will be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
Oh, wow. I would say have an abnormal belief in yourself. Then I would say
Abnormal.
abnormal belief in yourself.
Okay.
Study the craft,
Mm-hmm.
whatever craft you are in, and study the industry, whatever industry you're in. Because if you study the craft, study the industry, and you have an abnormal amount of confidence in yourself, you're able to adapt to any shift in
Mm-hmm.
situation. And right now, if you're not able to adapt in a shift in situation, you're going to have a really tough time. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those three things I would say.
Yes, and thank you for that advice. Mr. Kern, and can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Oh, so many. Always first, Toni Morrison. Beloved to me is one of the most brilliant stories ever written. So Toni Morrison first. Khalid Hosseini wrote um, A Thousand Splendid Suns, which just shook my world.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Kite
and then
Runner.
He wrote Kite Runner as well. Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Jhumpa Lahiri, my favorite novel from her is a novel called The Lowland, which I think is simple and brilliant. The way she executed that story. And then I love like fun authors. I love reading Donna Tartt. I love reading, oh my goodness, Marlon James. Marlon
Mm-hmm.
James has a novel called A Brief History of Seven Killings. That book, that book, my goodness, that book is incredible. That book is so, I didn't even know you're allowed to write books like that. It's so good. And then some
Mm-hmm.
Canadian authors I definitely need to shout out.
Mm-hmm.
um Nor Naga is fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Kinesia Lubrin is fantastic. Matthew Morris has an incredible book out. He's going to be a great author for years to come. So Canada has some really really great writing and some really great authors here as well that need to get a lot more credit. We are storytellers here, and we have
Yes.
a very strong writing and literary community in Canada, extremely strong. So yeah.
Definitely, and thank you for that recommended books, Mr. Ken. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, what was the most important lesson you learned about yourself as a writer while crafting this narrative?
That I can actually do it, that I can tell these stories um that are in my mind, or like that somehow come into my imagination, and I'm able to execute what's in my mind. That wasn't always true. I couldn't It took me 6 years to write my first novel because I couldn't get the thoughts from my mind onto the page in a way that felt true. So it was a struggle for me to get to this point. And I feel like I'm really good now, but I still don't even feel like I'm great yet. I feel like there's still a whole other level for me to get to great, which I do feel like I'm approaching, but I haven't felt it yet. And I feel like um with my next books, I felt a lot closer to that. Just control, and being able to really be intentional about every word and every detail of the story. I think the book that's coming out next year is one of the first books where I felt that from start to finish.
Well, looking forward for that next book, Mr. Kern. And please do come over and let's talk about it on Book 101 review. So, what is the question about this book and its journey that wish someone would ask you?
Hmm. I think someone would probably ask me why, like, why do I take this route? Why is this? Why are my stories always talking about messy family drama? You know, like why are my stories always like messy family drama? That's what they would
Mhm.
ask me, because that's just what my stories are about. But to be honest, like I I I feel like the best stories in the world are stories about family. You know, like everything starts with that. And if you can tell that story really well and come at it from different ways, then you could build on that so easily. So for me, I even though all my stories are radically different, I think basing it on family just feels like the zone I like to operate in, because there are so many different angles and approaches that you can take. And eventually I'll get bored of it and I'll step out and do something different. But for now, I'm enjoying this.
Yes, if you enjoy what you're doing, people, you have a dedication to do it in a single day. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, Mr. Kern, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season. Abstract Poetry in second season, and of course, my Book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and of course, my baby podcast, Bible versus 101, and of course, Geography 101 and Music 101, and of course, my Movie 101 review in its fourth season, too. Science 101 and Sex 101 in its second season. I'm a baby podcast, as I said, Law 101, Mental Health 101, and Bible Versus 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcasts. So, Mr. Kern, ultimately, tell us I I want to ask this question. Last but not the least, this book seems to explore how fragile and how resilient human connections can be. How do you hope readers take away about the effort and courage that it takes to build an us?
Ah, The effort and the courage it takes to build an us.
Yes.
Whew. Um, it takes a lot. You know the saying when people say it takes a village to raise a person, to raise a child. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it takes real effort to maintain relationships, and I think people forget that, and the relationships and the people who are closest to you often neglect them the most. You cancel on them the most, and you're not as patient with them, and I feel like that's a shame because the those are the people that no matter what are going to show up for you. So you should treat them like that. You should treat them like they're special because they are special. So yeah, I feel like if you're talking about building us, it first has to start with you and your effort. And how are you going to commit to community? How are you going to commit to the relationship with the person who you're living with, and the person you're in love with, and a child or a family member? Like, how are you personally going to show up every day with them? And then once you start with yourself, then you're able to kind of thrive in other areas, thrive with everybody else, and really be part of community in a meaningful way, like in a way that actually feels supportive, and you feel supported as well. But that's difficult unless you're really ready to commit to that. So
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Kern. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And can you please invite our listeners to support your book or your books itself?
yes, go to my website, kerncarter.com. I just took my first indie book, Thoughts of a Fractured Soul. That book
Mm-hmm.
is is totally indie now. It's off of Amazon. You can't get it anywhere else. That one is, you could go and get it directly from my site, grab it. Um, yeah, I am. Go to
It's not.
kerncarter.com. That is the best
Mhm.
place.
Okay, people, I support Mr. Kern Carter because if you support him for sure, more and more empowering books like this to come. So, Mr. Kern, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I love being here. This was fun.
Likewise, and more to come, people. See you soon.